Good afternoon. It is a gorgeous spring day, more like summer here in Regina, in my porch for the first time this season. It's kind of exciting. As you can see, my lilacs are going off. My yard is full of them. I've got a huge hedge. And this time of year is my favorite, right when lilac season starts. Where is everybody? It's a little tough these days. We have to just hang out because it doesn't seem to connect in very fast. I should do what everybody else does and just sit here and do nothing rather than try to entertain the few. But thank you for joining in, everybody. I can't see who it is. This platform is increasingly difficult each day, trying to figure out just how much they're going to shadow ban me today. I keep trying different times, trying to, try to fool the algorithm and not let them understand my schedule. But it doesn't seem to work. How is it there? Hey, Bert, how are you? You're the only one I can see so far. As I said, gorgeous day today. After this, I'm going to go for a bit of a walk and check out the vaccine center, not too far from my house. Go take a look and see what's going on. But interestingly enough, of course, just as it started, there were 3-hour lineups, or that was the sign that was up. And you could see these people queued for a long time, idling in the parking lot, waiting to go through the drive-through. But I noticed last night on their website it was only 1 to 15 minute wait. So I'm wondering if, again, people are pulling back, because that's what it looks like to me. Here in Saskatchewan, of course, we've got a new reopen plan coming. And again, the carrots, if we can get to 70% vaccination, come on, come on, come on. And everybody, rah, rah. And see, what people need to understand here is we're not planning to come out of this for at least a couple of years, at least, and that's minimum, because they just canceled if there is still a pandemic on or declared, and we're still under states of emergencies, they will not hold elections. That's what's happening here in Canada. None of them. But then the media drops a provincial election story. So it's very confusing. And the fact is, none of the media are covering this massive, massive deal, because it's massive. The fact is, our premier had the audacity again to say, well, there'll be no mask if we can get to 70% vaccination. But you see, as all of that tails in, we're going to be in school season again. And they've got the timing down to a T here, guys. And this is what people aren't understanding. They want you to continue to be disappointed, because that's the idea. It's how you psychologically chip away at your resolve. Hey, Bianca, how are you? And that's all I can see. Comment if you're here so I can see you, hopefully, and interact a bit. But yes, this is the idea. Chip, chip, chip away. And again, at your resolve, and make you frustrated, like they do every day with me. In, shadow banning me and making it difficult to get any reach at all. And they do it on YouTube, have been doing it for over a year, since January, since I started my videos. It's tragic. And then, well, people start sending me stuff from this woman, Romana Didulo. And I go to YouTube and she's got 45,000 views. And she's now apparently the new grand poobah of the Republic of Canada. And she comes out and she declares all these things people want to hear. Nobody's ever seen of her. Has no idea who the hell she is. But this woman declares she's going to be the Queen of Canada. And everybody's going, wow! I'm like, what? I've been getting up here for a year and a half, going on and on about what is actually happening, and this thing gets up, and like, honestly, she looks like Kevin Annette in drag. That's what it looks like, because she's spouting the very same Republic of Canada garbage that was out last September, speaking to the sovereigns. And it smells, if it looks like Q, smells like Q, it is Q, and it is Q. And Q emanates in China. That's where it all came from. It is the ultimate psyop to teach us Chinese manners. This is what people are missing, and I just go, why am I doing this? Because if she got 45,000 views on that, she clearly had help. She certainly wasn't stunted by YouTube or every other platform she's on. And of course, she's come out of nowhere. Bonjour. Hi, Michael. Shane, words are strong. Be you every time. Thank you. Well, you know, I've been trying to temper myself for a year and a half. And every time I say, the government is not in control, I'm like, this is my 80,000th time. And I'm just wondering, if I was a man, would people listen to me? Because that's what's been going through my little head the last few days. There is so much information. People are so confused, and it's relentless, and we are getting nowhere if people think a woman named Romana Didulo is saving Canada and is part of this troop to save the world, part of the whole Trump Q narrative. Trump is the Trump card. You have to start looking at the ironies here, because see, China, the CCP, they love ironies. That's their thing. It's how they send information under the wire, because it means something to them. And I'm going to be introducing you again to China, because last year at this time I showed a bit of a film. I did a big profile on it, excerpts of, well, it was the Wuhan military games. And it was the same day as the Event 201, Bill Gates pandemic simulation. Their opening ceremonies was the very same day. And the UN, like in their presentation, their opening ceremonies, they have, well, it's quite interesting, because the UN appears to be them. Now, there's even speculation that the virus even started there. At the end of the day, it's a shit show, and our world has become a shit show since this virus was unleashed by who? China. And you know who is backing them. They've been pushed from having proper investigations, but the World Health Organization is working with China, and they have been right from the start. We know this has come out as conclusive now, even though we were speculating a year ago. But the bottom line is, we're being taught some Chinese manners, and when a woman like Romana Didulo gets out there and starts telling us that she's going to save us, and she's part of like a galactic federation, shit, I wonder if I get out there, maybe that's how I should present myself rather than sitting back trying to be nice. Ay, 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 ay. Hey Sharon, how are you? Bonjour Joyce, how are you? Are they teaching? Well, they're teaching us Chinese manners. Well, let's go back. See, what happened was the virus was unleashed. Weeks went by and they said nothing. And as time went on, well, they still hadn't said anything until December 31st. That's how it went. And in the meantime, the Chinese knew beforehand, because they were buying up every single mask in Canada and the United States and around the world, not just here. But I even have a friend who's a distributor, because I went looking for masks at the end of January. We didn't know what this was yet, and I wanted to know what was out there. And I was absolutely shocked and surprised to find that there wasn't one in the country, and hadn't been since the very first week of January. They sold out. I know somebody in Indiana who went looking for masks and latex gloves. CVS Pharmacy. Pharmacists told her they had been sold out since the end of October, mid-November, in the entire United States in that pharmacy chain. You see, they knew about all this before, but also what they were doing was making sure we had nothing, which added to the level of desperation. And then, of course, when the mask was to come out and the rollout was ready, they were ready with as many masks as we could possibly consume. And of course, most of them are disposable. Now, of course, here in our society, here in the West, in Canada and the United States, well, we don't litter like the third world. We haven't for many years. They stopped throwing things from the windows here around 1979 in Canada. So, I remember as a kid being in the car the day that we weren't allowed to throw stuff out the window anymore. I'm that old. In any case, this is what's going on here. Now, of course, we're creating more waste than we ever have. But we also, in the West, we are now under a muzzle, and many of us under deep protest. People are being forced to go to work and endure this all day. What's happening, of course, is that they came out of lockdown and we went in. And they stayed out for the most part, unless they used for political dissidents in China, because they used COVID for that, absolutely, to bring them in, disappear them, do whatever they had to do. It was a great way to do it. But here, we have had the kids under masks in school. People have been working from home, being laid off. A lot of people have changed their lives because of the very rules and regulations that seem to have consumed our society. And they have. Completely changing the playing field of what we've ever known. Us in the West, the advanced ones. Now what's happening here is we've actually regressed. We've become, well, not my Canada, because my Canada, we trusted our neighbors. Well, we were pretty good, I have to say. I've lived in a lot of other places, and trust is a little overkill. In the day when I first moved into this house, I left the doors, I still do, all day, they're wide open to the outside. I don't lock them all day, and literally the door's wide open. I've lived here for a long time, and again, I've never had a problem. I've lived all over the place. I've had to lock down, but what's happening now is that we are locking down even more. We're distrustful. People are walking around on a 30-degree day outside with a mask on, and our landscape and everything we've known has literally been pulled from us. Our sports, kids cannot do sports like they did before. Again, us in the advanced society have been taught some manners about our place in this world. See, I believe that's what's going on here, and possibly why our politicians are absolutely so complicit. Are they being threatened? Are we being threatened here in Canada? I'm honestly believing that, especially when the Romana Didulo shows up, because again, what these are distractions from what we have to keep our eye on the ball. It's hope in a psyop like Q that was literally created, in my estimation, from my dealings with the psyop, BLM, who literally play and feed off one another. They also operate very, very similarly. And that's why I believe Q has roots in China, and that irony was literally to infiltrate the conservative right. And, well, make them inactive. Have them believe in the plan that they know nothing about. But I know it's Agenda 2030 they're believing in, but they have no idea. following the likes of Sasha Stone, Tarzan. I love all the characters they throw at us, but it is one character after another. Again, taking your eye off the information that we require. Planting. It's kind of like the people that I had people in my group that would infiltrate, and what they would do is they would go through the comments and then they would spam their message. That's when I started caught on to the controlled opposition message of the PCR test. That's why I never talk about it, because I saw people spamming it a lot. And I really do believe that was to take us off course, to take us off, again, to distract us from something that they're not, it's not going to get us anywhere, because it hasn't, because no one who's talking about it is an expert. And then in fact, the people on the other side mock us from discussing something that we don't specialize in. So again, we have to stick to arguments we can win. And we need like 5. Like in marketing, you need like 5 bullet points. And that's what we need in this side of trying to bring some justice, because I don't see it happening. Again, especially when people are believing the likes of a Romana Didulo, who popped out of nowhere. Where is she from? Mars? I don't know. Yes, Q is a psyop. Where are you there? Darn it. Yes, Q is a psyop. I've always thought Mossad. Possibly, but I honestly believe it's China. Again, with the whole play with Trump, and I always saw it. Like when he came out with his reality show, I thought, what the hell's going on with that? But when he went for president, it was just sort of the ultimate. Again, I don't question him as a businessman. Obviously he does pretty good at that. He's not a diplomat, but he also said it like it was, and a lot of people didn't like that. But I also believe that they're all in on it. They are. This is the NWO. And also, when I saw Trump in a, when was that? I think it was fall. And, oh no, it was right before the election, like about a month before the election. And in one of the press conferences, they came out with Q. And one of the reporters threw him the question that, what do you think of Q and all of this? And he played stupid. And then I thought, well, come on. I mean, again, these are your people. And to claim that he knows nothing about it, that just showed me absolute dishonesty, and showed me pretty clearly that those Q people were also, and at the same time, they were being tailed into domestic terrorism. So in fact, Trump was setting the table for that, as far as I could see. And, passing the salad. He was contributing. I don't know. Also, could it be possible that many of the leaders across the world all have the same boss? Yeah, I do believe that's absolute China. You see, again, you've got the asset managers in there. You've got the BlackRock, Blackstone, and Vanguard. We've got the Saudis, and we've got some, like those guys in the UAE, they wield a lot of power. And again, this is what I've been saying about, I believe that there is a new playing field being created, and even territories usurped without our knowledge, like again, under some sort of, under agreements. Because again, why New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, like borders shut? Again, the Northwest Territories, right from the beginning, they did not have a case of COVID until, I think it was November. But they were locked down right from the start. They required travel passes to get around. There's only 50,000 people up there, and it's huge territory. Nunavut, the same thing. Again, these areas that are, mostly like largely accessible by air and water. So why? The Yukon, you're going to need a vax to go up there. Like, it was pretty far already for a road trip, but I worked out there. It's really cool, but you won't go in that territory where there's barely any people. What is really going on? because again, there's no justification for where we're at. But again, then every week we've got the new Psyops in. And again, this Romana Didulo sort of reminded me as well of Kevin Annett and his whole thing. Again, the Republic of Canada. And she had a lot of great proposals. You know, she was giving everybody a tax break. And, you know, she spoke about everything that we want to hear. And again, why would it matter when 2 or 3 days ago anyway, I mean, she should have known that. They said that there's going to be no election if we're under a pandemic. And the World Health Organization is the de facto government right now here in Canada through Theresa Tam and through the public health officers. That's how it goes. And we need to acknowledge that. That's what we need to be saying in the feeds on the government and all of that, and see where it goes. Because again, they're going to respond, right? Under the wire. This is what makes this fun for me, because, you know, it's never a dull moment. Always trying to figure out what they're up to. Yeah. Crazy. All I know is, and I learned with the groups, was that we have so much information coming our way that again, we're being bombarded. It's just about like psychological warfare, right? If they can keep us with no direction, no solid direction, lots of fissures and factions, things will continue on. And again, what are we going to do when we are under these public health emergencies? Because this is exactly why we are in them. And why I believe we are literally under a totalitarian regime right now. And again, it emanates from China and interests from abroad. On a fun note, though, not a mask. I remember a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, I went into Indigo, and I had to disguise myself as a Muslim woman to wear the face covering because they wouldn't allow it. And then I on film, I got my friend behind me getting denied while I was inside. And there's the two of us. And then I went around and said, hey, what's that all about? I mean, why would you let a Muslim woman in the same face covering? Well, anyway, another woman I know about a week and a half ago went in. And they said hello with her not a mask and let her go on in. So that was kind of fun and exciting because I didn't have to phone them, write them, or anything. I just did a video. And now apparently us white women, we're allowed to wear the very same face covering without a veil. Here in Canada, did you ever suspect such a thing? That's hilarious. Yes. Oh, you know, when I try to roll the comments, it just makes a mess here. It just does not want me to go back and forth with you guys. In any case, it's a gorgeous day, 30 degrees. I'm going to go over and take a look at the vaccination center and see what's popping over there. I think they're open till 7. And, you know, it really makes me think that they're not getting as far as we're thinking. We know that the more numbers that they throw at us, the higher it gets, the more pressure the pressure cooker goes. And those people who are undecided feel pressured because more people have gone. So they need to keep those numbers up. So honestly, guys, I don't even think they're close. But again, I'm going to start watching the center every day. And again, just getting an idea of how many people are actually going in. Thanks for joining me, guys. And, you know, sometimes I feel like I have to get a little tough. But I get frustrated because, again, and I know that the information is just overload. It is. But it's making it difficult for us to make decisions and again, forward plans. We have to do that independently of what's going on. We have to stop listening to it and taking that little carrot, because even when we don't believe in it, it affects us. We need to mitigate the damage and take care of ourselves, go for a walk, get our immunity up, because we're going to need it. They're not done with us yet. See you next time.